The wind has changed. I was wearing long sleeves. The summer has passed. Suddenly, I realized the pictures I used to take out a lot these days somewhere in the drawer. But sometimes, very often, your name flies in my heart. It's weird when I think of you. Warmness comes before sadness. Maybe that summer, I guess it was a season that made my heart sweet. The end was a bummer, I can understand it now. All the seasons are gone, that memory becomes stronger. It's not until the summer is over I knew how much I liked you. It was so close at the time, the invisible hearts, it's still clear now. In that summer, it was the first season I loved. Every year when summer comes back, I'm reminded of a familiar scent. It's an afternoon when someone just walks by. It's alive to me like a movie. Those scenes stop, that feeling doesn't fade. So even now I can laugh quietly. It's not that I forgot, I guess they let him go. That way other seasons too, because it can come to me. It's not until the summer is over how precious the days I spent with you were. With those moments in mind, it's my own story now. It doesn't hurt anymore. The warmth of the summer forever in me. Keep breathing. In fact, every time I think of you, I missed a little bit. Thank you so much. Back then I was able to shine a little more because it was you. It's not until the summer is over I really felt like an adult. I'll bury those days in my heart. I live now. I won't forget you, sunshine that resembles you. Even when the season starts again, like me in the summer, I want you to be kind to me. One day suddenly I opened an old notebook in my drawer and saw the faded letters written in the sunlight. I met you again that summer. That day nothing happened, but that made it all the more vivid. The moment you looked out window and smiled real silently. At that moment I felt so ready. A seat by the window in a small cafe, melting iced tea. An afternoon where time flowed slowly. We were there, though the street is now forgotten. The conversations on that road still linger somewhere in my heart. Quiet summer record, a story no one else knows. Within it you and I, the warmth we shared without words. As time grows distant, it becomes clearer deep in my heart. That summer record. Some scenes have become blurry, but your gestures and your gaze are unforgettable. There are feelings that last longer than memory. Even though we are now in different seasons under the summer sky, I I'm still the same person who sat across from you, without saying a word to each other, just gazing at the view outside the window. That day was filled with our quiet summer, the quiet record of summer scenes that bring tears to my eyes when I look back on them. Do you know my heart hidden in that silence? Everything I couldn't express in letters or words that summer tells you. I liked you. I never tried to forget, I just hid it well. But on days like today, when the sunlight is calm, that summer speaks to me. The quiet record of summer, even now like my own bookmark. Whenever I'm struggling, I take out those warm pages. Our time together was brief, but that summer you still lives with echo. Do you remember that summer we shared? It was so quiet and beautiful.
On an old street, I encountered a familiar profile. My heart stopped for a moment, and a quiet smile.
A name I had forgotten for a while, suddenly like the air of today. An awkward greeting for you and me, but we were still able to smile. A short conversation, a long memory. There was a lot of time between us. Even if the timing wasn't right, now my heart was still warm. The same way of speaking as back then, the gaze of an adult different from back then. More things that didn't change than things that did. Again, like that day I looked at you under the sunlight. Now instead of excitement, quiet gratitude seeps in. I don't wanna go back, but because it was you, those days that were pretty are still in my heart today.
A brief moment in each other's daily lives stay. We headed to our own afternoons again. Even the footsteps that are moving away, now I can look at them calmly. Since that day I have become stronger, and because of that summer I was able to treat someone again.
Even if all the seasons change, that summer won't fade. You don't have to forget, because the memories you let go are more beautiful again. Just like that day, our own language contained in the moment we briefly met. Maybe it was a quiet farewell. We won't start again. Because of that summer, I am smiling today. Perhaps a deeper emotion than love, a feeling that I am alive in the things that have passed. That was you, that summer. Again, just like that day when the sunlight covers my heart. Sometimes I think of you, that's the pain, no, it's memory. Today, which has passed us by, like another summer, it's quietly blooming inside me. Like that day, you are still warm. Can you still feel it? The salty breeze, the sunlight on my hands, the last scene of that summer. The day the school bell rang, walking in my slippers that afternoon. 2 bicycles in front of the convenience store. We hid in the shade, silently waving our hands the moment we shyly made eye contact. The most ordinary day was the most special to me. Through the broken sunlight, your smile sparkled. Without saying a word, our hearts recognized each other. At the end of that summer, you and I were smiling without anyone knowing. It remained like a small movie, even as time passes. In a corner of my heart, that summer of us still embraces me. In the old Polaroid, in that faded scene, there is only your back in the red sunset. Let's meet again, a casual promise. We didn't know that it would be our last goodbye. A sky slowly darkened and the cicadas' cries faded. That summer left us with a quiet farewell. At the end of that summer, I must have let you go. The wind passed by, memories frozen in time. Even if we can't meet again, you remain the same, still shining inside of me like that summer. Even now as an adult, I sometimes look back on that summer. Sunlight, sweat, and laughter, you. That was my first love. At the end of that summer, one unforgettable name, because you were there. My season was dazzling even now. If I open my closed heart, that summer us makes me smile again. That summer was really good.
Suddenly, the sunlight was warm. For no reason, I thought of that summer.
The light sitting on the windowsill was similar to the sunlight back then. Your face that smiled without saying anything came to mind. Time has come far away, but that summer stays quietly in my day. I thought I had forgotten everything, but in fact we were together a little bit every day. Now here to summer breathes quietly inside me. A ray of wind, a piece of light, your warmth remains inside it. Like a wave from afar, memories that seep into my day. That is the season of my heart that hasn't ended yet. A lot has changed, but I still stop sometimes, like back then, and think of you. I've grown little by little, losing and gaining things, but at the root always that summer. There was when my heart is cold. I look up at the sky, I think you are smiling softly. Now here to summer is quietly spreading through my daily life. Even though every day seems different, somewhere a familiar breath. Your name, I thought I had forgotten. you've become the way I live. Now here to summer is slowly blooming inside me. It's okay not to forget. It's okay not to hold on. All those moments made me who I am now. So today too, I quietly embrace summer. Still summer is inside me.
I thought it was over. I thought I had forgotten everything. But I think of you again.
As I walk down a familiar street, I remember the day we first laughed. I pretended not to care and turned my head away, but inside of me, it's still your season, that summer that continue to stop. I thought we'd meet again. I thought I'd be able to leave a word. Still it was you, and all the time that passed, you were the first and last that made me cry and made me live until the end. I know without saying, my heart was always you. I thought I'd become accustomed to the days without you, but one day, suddenly the voice of you laughing, I suddenly remembered. Is this foolishness, or was it really love? I still don't know the answer, I don't know. I lied to myself that I forgot, but just hearing your name, I hold my breath. Still it was you, no matter what season I pass, no matter who I meet. In the deepest part of my heart, you remain painfully, quietly, and clearly. I thought it was all over, but my heart, I was still calling your name. Still it was you, the name I loved the most and had to endure the most. Even if I don't call it anymore, while I live one season, one person, that was you. The seasons that have passed all became one color and colored me today. Hot sunshine, cold wind, sometimes exciting, sometimes shaking. After all those moments, I am here now. There were nights when I resented someone, and there were alleys where I cried alone. But all those emotions made me a little deeper. The seasons repeat, but I am not in the same place. Little by little, slowly, I have changed without even knowing. Summer inside me, now it is a season that blooms for me, not for someone else. How to smile, how to stop, now it is okay at my own pace. I have grown up so beautifully after that summer. The summer me, who still laid at me. Love me will be seasons when I am alone, but what is that? Even if it's just a look, I can protect myself. Some songs still ring, but it's not pain, it's memories. Because of those times, I am who I am now. I don't have to go back anymore, because the me of now is more precious. Because the me of those days made the me of today. Summer inside me, not someone's shadow. A landscape dyed with the light I've walked. I can embrace even the clumsy and lacking me. All the love that is past now has become my warmth of passes, and memories become hazy. But the heart that loves me has become a little clearer. Summer inside me, even now somewhere in my heart, it's shining like sunlight. Even if I love someone else someday, I won't forget that I am me. I who passed that summer now, really, it's okay. Still love me. Me who survived that summer.
Only after everything had passed, I realized that I had been hiding so many words. That summer I spoke to myself every day. What was your expression today? I liked you too much, but those words never made it to my voice. They piled up in a corner of my heart, remained aimed even as the seasons passed. Back then I was too young and a little scared to take my feelings out. Summer that I couldn't say, there were so many confessions hidden inside. My unspoken feelings drying in the sunlight quietly disappeared. But sometimes you appear in my dreams and hug me with an innocent face. You probably didn't know how much I quietly called your name. At every moment I felt like I had the world, and I was so scared that the world would disappear. So I didn't say anything, because that was my way of loving. Summer that I couldn't say, it's all in the past now, but inside it was definitely the real me. To adjust just small, I couldn't hear it. That heart was really deep enough to risk everything. Back then, unspoken hearts were growing inside me. Maybe it was that silence that made me who I am now. Unspoken summer, I don't hurt anymore. Just like a calm wave, memories that surround me. It's okay not to tell. That summer must have known how sincere I was. That summer I felt it all without saying anything.
Walking alone on the road at the end of summer. The memories of being with someone. Now, like the wind, falling far away. The scenery passing by outside the window. The sea that seems to have been seen somewhere with you. A familiar alley. It's my first time walking alone, but it's okay. The song I always listen to with you. Today I'm humming to myself. It's a little lonely, but that's not a bad feeling.
I didn't try to forget you, I just needed my time. The feelings that summer gave me, I'm slowly carrying them now. That summer passed, I became a little more myself. Even in the season without you, I can smile the corner of my heart where you stayed. Now it's quietly shining at the end of that summer I was there. The sun is setting, a small beach town. Only I am captured in the camera. A trip without you, but still it's a really good day. Your words suddenly come to mind, still make me smile. The gift from those days, I think it was me in the end. Even in the irreversible days, beauty remains. The season that made me remember it. Thank you to you too. After that summer, the two of us grew apart, but the warmth that remained grew stronger over time. One day you suddenly come to mind, not more comfortable than longing at the end of that summer. There is my new day. Summer still comes, my heart still passes that time. But now I can say that time, it was really pretty. After that summer, I no longer don't shake the season of you and me. Now breathes as memories in the scene of today that has started again. I am living as myself at the end of that summer. There was me and my path. Take care, you were together that summer.
At first, I thought it was just a passing season. But strangely, I smelled sunshine from that person's smile.
The window of my heart opened after a long time, as if the wind was gently seeping in. You came and I smiled a little slowly. If it were like before, I would have taken a step back, but this time I just looked at that moment, that person's tone of voice overlapped with old memories, but I knew this was a different season. The beginning of another summer, a familiar yet unfamiliar warmth in the cautious eyes. I felt my heart beating again. This is not the love from back then, but a story that starts with me now. Second summer, a little late.
An afternoon when sunlight lingers outside the window, a small street we walk together. I'm not alone anymore, it's awkward somehow, but it's not bad. At that person's words, a smile suddenly spread, and I whisper without realizing it, it can be okay.
Even though I can't give everything yet, I'm ready to give my heart. Slowly I wanna walk at the same pace as that person. The beginning of another summer, emotions that seep in gently like grains of sand. The moment I put a new color on the past season, even if it's not perfect, I can say it's okay now. In this season, I'm learning to love again. That summer hurt me, but it eventually made me grow. So I don't want to let
the season that once passed. Now that we are this summer, we are blooming.
This summer, I think it would be okay to start with someone.
That night before falling asleep, when I closed my eyes quietly, the summer you were there under that starlight, I returned.
Summer nights were strangely long, walking quietly through the alleyways. You quietly called my name, that was the moment I first felt excited. Our fingertips almost touched, we walked carefully side by side. It felt like the stars would fall that night. We were silent in the gentle breeze. Your hair swayed, I gazed at your profile longer than I remember.
That night when the stars fell, everything felt like a dream. You and I, without saying a word, we smiled at each other. Even now when I suddenly think of that night, somewhere in my heart it quietly sparkles.
Fearing it would be forgotten the next day, I filled the night sky. I tried so hard not to forget that moment with you. We weren't perfect, but that summer was perfect. The warmth of that night, which time couldn't take away, still remains.
And if everything fades away, your gaze from that night shines on me clearly like the stars in the night sky. On that night when the stars fell, I couldn't tell you I liked you, but that quiet tremor still lives within me. If I ever meet that night again, I'll definitely tell you that I liked you that summer. Sometimes you appear in my dreams, sometimes you appear in my dreams, smiling as if nothing had happened, that smile alone. On that night when the stars fell, our season came to a halt, but deep in my heart I still carry that summer within me. Even though it's a story of the past, the reason it's still warm is because that night we spent together is still inside me. Whispering, you shone brighter than whispers.
Without any warning, you came to me like a dream. You were smiling without saying a word, just like back then, like summer.
I recognized you in my dream, a familiar scent, familiar eyes. It seemed like I was walking back to that time. Everything seemed to have stopped. You didn't say anything, but in that silence I heard thousands of words. You're okay, you. I knew that when I opened my eyes you'd disappear, but that short moment last night was a long one. The summer I met in a dream, just being able to see you again. A corner of my heart quietly became warm. You were the same as before, and I had grown a little. That summer embraced me for a moment.
We walked together in silence, even the alleys without sunlight in my memories. The sea was just there, and I laughed for no reason. Your eyes looking at me, that wasn't goodbye or regret. It was just your typical greeting saying take care.
Just before waking up, you nodded once, and I said to myself, yeah, I'm okay now. Summer, I met in a dream once again, sending you off. Somewhere in my heart feels lightly organized, whether it's love or longing. Now we don't have to name it. That summer was resting inside me. We'll probably never see each other again, but it's okay, because that one smile back then, I can hold you for a lifetime. Summer, I met in a dream, you smile like sunshine for the last time, and I looked at you silently. Now we don't have to say goodbye, we know each other's feelings, because there was that summer. Fell asleep beautifully.
Your name, which I have never called, continues to ring somewhere in my heart.
From the day I first saw you, I already knew you, but I could never call your name. Those countless moments I only called in my heart. Those were my feelings for you, and the silence I had to keep. If I had called that name, would everything have been different, or would it have hurt more? The uncalled name, all the seasons contained within it. Your smile and my confession, left in my memory. That moment, it seemed to have been conveyed. Even now, sometimes rings on the tip of my lips. When I think of you, it was always the end of summer. The sunlight was warm, but the air was somehow dreary. You were always far away, and just looking at it is enough, I believed. But if I had called that name once, would you have looked back, or would you have just passed by? The name that wasn't called, your season that only I knew, a quiet flower that bloomed only in my heart. Now even that name I've forgotten, but it's still clear that it was love. Liking someone silently, maybe it was the most silent courage. I held you like that and let you go. The name that wasn't called, it's okay not to call it anymore. The heart inside made me grow enough, the love that only I knew, without anyone knowing, has now become a part of me. I've never called you, but you were my most intense summer.
Quietly at sunset, memories come flooding back. You and me, that sunset still alive somewhere in my heart.
Your face, which I saw for the first time in years, a familiar yet unfamiliar smile. We sat in silence on the same bench, letting time pass. The feelings we didn't know then, I think I understand a little now.
It was clumsy but sincere. That summer was everything. The yellow lights turn on in the street. Our shadows grow longer. The moment we laughed and talked again, it felt like time had stopped for a moment. Us at sunset, walking through the seasons that had passed. You were still warm, I was still clumsy, but the sunset that day told us we hadn't changed. Our hearts are still standing at the end of that summer. At the crossroads, you smiled and said you were okay. I felt a little sad and just stared at the sky for a long time. When you asked if I ever thought about it, I just nodded. But in fact, every summer I remember that time. The night air grew a little cold and our footsteps slowed. There were so many things I wanted to say, but I couldn't say anything. Us at sunset, it's okay if we can't go back. The year of that day and your smile are still vivid. If we hold the same memories, that's enough. At the end of that summer we met again. Even if time changes us, our true feelings remain the same. Just knowing that made today so warm. Us at sunset, a moment we'll never forget. Somewhere in our memories, you and I always remain. When summer comes again, can we smile again like we did then? Us at sunset. Thank you that summer. And now, the image of that summer was shaking somewhere and faded, but inside it, I was smiling so brightly.
Sometimes I think that if the me back then sees the me now, what kind of face would I make? It would be a little unfamiliar, dampened emotions, quiet speech. Will you still recognize me? That child from that summer. Even though many things have changed, deep in my heart, the you from back then still lives. You were waving your hand so that I wouldn't forget, even after many seasons. With that one smile you raised me up again. It was you from that summer that made me who I am now. I smile a little differently now and love a little more quietly, but the beginning of it all come from the emotions you first learned. I hugged you on that day when you shyly raised your head. I want, even in absurd times, thank you for living so well. There were promises I couldn't keep, but in spite of that, you were still the light inside me. You were there at that time, watching me so I wouldn't get lost, even in the nights when I was shaking a lot. 'Cause you were there, I'm walking again. The me now that I'm holding everything I dreamed of when I was young. Although you look a lot different now, that light still surrounds me. A season that hasn't disappeared. That some of me was waiting for the me of today. You were still there, me that summer.